What's up, everybody? It is Mr. M. I'm back with a new video. In the background, I'm going to be playing With Odin on Our Side by Amon Amarth. Excellent melodic death metal, even bordering on blackened sometimes. And this video, I got a collection update. Some CDs and some vinyl. First up, we got the Iron Reagan and Gate Creeper split. Isn't out until Friday, but the pre-order got here early. Pretty stoked for that. 5 songs on the Iron Reagan side, 3 songs on the Gate Creeper side. Iron Reagan is a band that I've never really listened to all that much. They're a crossover band featuring the singer of Municipal Waste. But from what I've heard and listened to, I've played this a couple times, it's some great stuff. Gate Creeper is the side that I was most excited for when this was announced. They have 3 songs. And Sonoran Deprivation is a great record, and the 3 songs that they did on this split are even better. And it's got me hyped for the second record, whenever that's going to be coming out. It's been like a year and a half since Sonoran Deprivation is coming out, so hopefully we get a new full length from them this year. But yeah, every song on this is killer. I highly recommend getting it. There's already a few songs out, and the EP comes out on Friday, so if you, or I don't know if I'd even call it an EP, but it's out on Friday, so if you haven't bought it yet, you're waiting for the full thing to be streamed, you don't have to wait that much longer. And the next 2 CDs I got are bands that people love to hate, but I like them, so if you don't want to hear me talk about them, skip ahead a couple minutes. The 5th records from Asking Alexandria and Black Veil Brides. Self-titled Asking Alexandria record and Black Veil Brides record is called Veil. God damn, that glare is pretty awful. Start with Veil. Their 5th record, their first record in over 3 years. This is a sequel to their 3rd record, Wretched and Divine, which came out in 2013. And musically and lyrically, it's a great follow-up to it. And this record is loads better than the self-titled record, or 4, depending on what you want to call it. There isn't as much of a narrative as there was with Wretched and Divine. There was several tracks where they had William Control from Aiden and Solo Project. He would do, there was 4 or 5 tracks, I think, that were him just narrating, or moving the plot along, I guess. And this doesn't have it. It's only a few minutes shorter than Wretched and Divine now, but a lot of the songs on here are just killer. It opens with something. It opens with a 20-second voiceover that their singer does, which is the same way that Wretched and Divine opened. And then it goes into the last one, which starts with like piano and light guitar, which is also very similar to the 2nd song from Wretched and Divine. And then from there, it keeps getting better. And then when I first saw this record announced, the track that got my eye was Dead Man Walking, because it was an 8.5 minute long song. And those always pique my interest, even though some bands, if they do a really bad job, it feels so much longer. But Dead Man Walking, it flows so well, and I don't even know how it is 8.5 minutes, because it doesn't fucking feel like that. And then it closes with the title track, Veil, This Is Where It Ends, which is primarily an acoustic song, which is the first time that they've done that since Set the World on Fire, I want to say. But it just ends on a great note. And I don't know, I haven't paid a lot of attention to lyrics, but I think maybe if they wanted to, they could do a part 3 to the story. But I don't know where I'd put this in terms of all of their records, because I didn't like their last record that much. I've said that before in a previous video. But all the rest of the records, including that one, just stand out so well, it's difficult for me to put it in order with all the rest of the records. And now, Asking Alexandria, self-titled record. this was an incredibly hyped up record because their original singer returned. Danny Worsnop, after 2 years of touring and after 4 years since it had been 4 years since they'd done their last record together, which was From Death to Destiny, which came out in 2013. So, and I've talked about in the video Beloved Missteps and Stinkers, I think was the title, where records that I thought were great people didn't like. The record before this, The Black, which they did with Dennis Stoff, the only record they've done with Dennis Stoff, it ended up on there because a lot of people who were fans of Asking Alexandria when Danny was in didn't really like the record. And then this one came out, and there was a lot of the same thing with this record that there was with The Black. People were saying, oh, Dennis is better, no, fuck you, Danny's better, all this sort of shit. But for me, I've liked all their records. As far as I'm concerned, Asking Alexandria has a flawless discography. The return song, I guess you could say, the lead single to this, the first song we got since Danny rejoined, Into the Fire. The second song, it's one of the best songs on the record. It's the one with more screaming in it than anything. It opens with Alone in a Room, which is, in my opinion, the greatest opening track for an Asking Alexandria record. And then it goes, the second half of the record is where it's really at for me. You got Under Denver, which I really liked because I'm from Denver. Vultures, which is an entirely acoustic song, which is the first time that Asking Alexandria's ever done that. Eve, I Am One, and then the final track, Room 138. Those three songs right there are the ones that people seem to like even more than Into the Fire or the rest of the record, because that is where a lot of the screaming is. And then there's Empire featuring Bing X, which is a rapper, hip-hop guy. I don't know, I don't listen to his stuff. But Asking Alexandria made that song perfect for a rapper to be on it. I know they wanted MGK and Yellow Wolf on it, but they weren't able to do it. The only song I don't really like is When the Lights Come On. I do not hear much guitar on that at all. It seems like Ben and Cameron, who are the guitarists of Asking Alexandria, weren't even in the studio when that song was being done, because it is entirely, or mostly entirely, bass, drums, and vocals. And it's, in my opinion, it's just not a great song. But other than that, it's a fucking flawless record. Next up, I saw Creator, which is where I got this shirt. They were doing a co-headlining tour and are still doing the co-headlining tour with Sabaton. I got to see them, but I had to dip out before Sabaton played for reasons I'm not going to fucking talk about. I got this along with a couple shirts, Phantom Antichrist. This is the record that came out before Gods of Violence. If you watch my channel, you know I fucking love this record. This record's just as great, in my opinion. And it also comes with a bonus DVD, which is the making of the Phantom Antichrist, as well as a live set that was partially done in two separate Wacken festivals in 2008 and 2011. And the opening band that they brought along is a band called Syra. This is their debut record, Letters to Myself, which came out on Spine Farm Records, I want to say November of last year. It might have been December. These guys play some pretty great power metal. Very similar in the vein of Sonata Arctica and Avantasia, except instead of orchestral and symphonic elements, they add electronic elements. But it's not like super synthy stuff. It's pretty good, and they make it fit with the record and the sound they were going for. Next up is a song that is quite divisive among people. This is Dimmu Borgir with Interdimensional Summit. I didn't take the shrink wrap off of it because my cats like to scratch at my records. I got it on this clear with red splatter. I believe it was limited to either 300 or 500. There's only 2,000 total copies of this single pressed. And then on the B-side you got live version of Puritania, which I'm pretty sure was on Forces of the Northern Night, the live DVD and record that they put out last year. Now, for the song itself, I like it. Also, in the Beloved Missteps video, I talked about Abrahadabra, how a lot of people didn't like that, and I did. This is kind of along the same lines of that, except I'm getting more of an In Sorte Diaboli vibe off of it. But I think it's a pretty good song. At this point in their career, Dimmu Borgir is no longer a black metal band. I feel like most people need to realize that, or they have already realized that, and they're not really going to go back to the old black metal ways that they were when they first started. But if you like symphonic metal, if you like orchestral metal like Nightwish, that's what a lot of people have been comparing this song to. If you like stuff like that, if you like In Sorte Diaboli or Abrahadabra type Dimmu Borgir, you're gonna like this. And they're coming out with a new record too called Eonian or some shit like that. It's coming out in May, and it's lining up with the 25th anniversary of this band being around, which I feel like they might have kind of planned. But it's been 8 years since Abrahadabra came out, and fans have been wanting something. But yeah, this song it's just been incredibly divisive. I saw someone on Discogs, I think, refer to them as a goth pop band, which not even fucking close. But if you're expecting them to go back to what they were, like For All Tid or Puritania, Misanthropic Euphoria, I believe. If you're expecting that type of sound, don't fucking listen to this. You'll be disappointed. But I think it's great. And if you like symphonic metal, I think you're going to like it anyway. And I got two more left. I got a rant on this one because this thing fucking pisses me off. Green Day. And if you watch this channel long enough, you're probably wondering why this is pissing me off. Because Green Day is my favorite band. And they're also God's favorite band. And if they're a fictional character's favorite band, the fuck I give is really non-existent. Religion is stupid in every way. However, the story behind God's favorite band, they have a live DVD called Bullet in a Bible, in which it was recorded at the Milton Keynes National Bowl in the United Kingdom in 2005. And during one of the clips, one of the guys on the tour was like, "Why is there no clouds in the sky?" And then Green Day's drummer Trey Cool is like, "Because God wants to watch his favorite band." And it's become a running joke since then. They performed on Stephen Colbert last year, 2016, and they got an animated God to say that same thing basically. Now, the reason why this pisses me off, it's a greatest hits record. And this is Green Day's second greatest hits record. And I am aware that any band that puts out a greatest hits record, it is a cash grab. I know that. It's not a fucking secret. It's just the record labels and the bands trying to monetize even more on the success that they've had with the singles. But what pisses me off, like I said, this is their second greatest hits record. The first one came out in 2001, and between the time of their major label signing, which their first release was Dookie, up until Warning, there was a total of 4 records, including those two. And that greatest hits record had 18 singles, along with 2 songs that they recorded just for that greatest hits record, and then there was one more song that was on a soundtrack. So 21 songs in total. This one has 22. And between the last greatest hits record and this greatest hits record, they released 6 records. So the logical thing to do would have been to take the singles from those 6 records. Fucking nope. If you look at the track listing here, the entire first LP, since this is a double LP, except for that last song, American Idiot, all the other songs are from Dookie, Insomniac, Nimrod, and Warning. Except for the first one, which was off of Kerplunk, which it's cool to see that on there. But if you look at the rest of the track listing, they don't even include half of the singles that they've had between their last greatest hits and this greatest hits record. So it's a fucking shit show. And I guess the best thing about me being a massive Green Day fan is I already own all the rest of their stuff. So if I really want to listen to a single that's not on that, I can just fucking pick it out of this mess here and play it. And then the last one, to end it on a better note, Nimrod, Green Day. This is the 20th anniversary version. Gatefold presentation. This was released last year. It's a double LP, and it's on a translucent yellow vinyl. And I don't know how. That's probably as good as you're gonna get it. It's got their logo from the album on the D side. Nimrod, just like Insomniac, which I talked about in the last vinyl video I did, it is an incredibly overlooked and underrated record, but I can see why some people look it over, because there are 18 total songs on this record, and so people look at that and go, what the fuck? You know, and so for someone like me who loves the shit out of Green Day, this is like a gold mine when I first got this record, because I'd already known about the singles. There was 4, Nice Guys Finished Last, Hitchin' a Ride, Redundant, and Time of Your Life. And then so there was 14 other songs on here, and then there were 4 B-sides that were on Shenanigans. And there are so many good songs that just get overlooked. One of the most punk rock songs Green Day has ever done is called Take Back, and it's on this record. And if you're into punk at all, definitely check that song out. You don't even have to like Green Day. But their first instrumental they did, Last Ride In, is on here. You got Worry Rock, The Grouch, which I feel is another punk rock song. More on the punk side, as opposed to the pop punk side that people are saying. And then it was also numbered right there. I don't know how many there were. I think maybe 10,000 or 20,000. I'm not sure. But this is a record that I've also been jamming a lot, because like I said, 18 songs. There's even stuff that I've missed that I haven't listened to in a while. But that is it for this collection update. Hope you liked it. If not, rip me a new one in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.